Hey guys, welcome to part 5 of my Pokemon Crystal Legacy Hard Mode Nuzlocke Challenge. So let's begin. After defeating Morty and getting my 4th badge, the region's opened up a little bit, so I decided to backtrack down to Goldenrod City to talk with Bill to get my free Eevee. I purposely withheld getting Pokemon from the game corner because Eevee has more flexibility in what type of Pokemon I can evolve it into. So after receiving Eevee, I decided to nickname it Banan. Since my wife, I got her killed as a Ghastly, and I figured we can go ahead and reincarnate her as an Eevee. I think she'd appreciate that. My next encounter is at Ecruteak City, and I decided to surf because basically right here it's a guaranteed encounter for me for either a Poliwag or a Poliwhirl, and I get the Poliwag. Yeah, this is pretty straightforward. I catch it, and I decide to nickname it Swirls. Next, it's time for me to move over to Route 38, and I decided to go to the Milk Tank farm and to take care of their sick Miltank. And I've been stocking up on berries, so I was able to get enough for it to feel better. So now I can get some Moo Moo milk once a day. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I always like looking for cheap alternatives to healing items. Before I step foot into Olivine City, I decided to go ahead and get my encounter on Route 38, and it's a Magnemite. I really like this Pokemon. The Electric typing is much needed for my team right now. The Steel typing is awesome for defensive purposes. Catch this Pokemon with no problem, and I name him Three Pools. After making it to Olivine City, Adam decides to show up and tell me that the gym leader is not at home right now, and that she's taking care of a sick Pokemon at the lighthouse. He also brings up how I can choose between fighting Price and Chuck, which in Crystal Legacy, the gym leaders scale based on how many badges you have, which is really cool. I'm still going for Chuck first. Now it's time for me to get my encounter on Route 40, and it's going to be a Tentacool. I love the Tentacool line, and I've grown to appreciate them so much in Nuzlocke challenges. I end up using them quite often, and the water poison typing is just amazing, and I like how they're relatively fast, special defensive, special attacking mons. So this is, I love it. I love Tentacruel. After catching him, I decide to nickname him my usual nickname for Tentacruels, which is Jelly Belly. Next, I decided to do my fishing encounter in Olivine City, specifically in the harbor. So catching Tentacool on 40 meant I was either guaranteed a Chinchou or a Shelter in the Olivine Harbor, and I got the one I wanted, which is Chinchou. Again, I want more electric types on the team, and the Lantern is a freaking awesome Pokemon, and I'm so happy to be able to use it. I catch him with little difficulty, and I name him Beacon. So I make it to the top of the lighthouse no problems, otherwise I would show like any battles I struggled with. Jasmine tells me about the sick Ampharos and can't light the lighthouse, so now we're going to go to Cianwood City to get some medicine. But before we get to Cianwood City, I get my Route 41 encounter, and it's going to be a Mantine, which, you know, not going to use it immediately because I already have a Gyarados, but another water flying type in the PC would be nice. If I didn't forget to stock up on Pokeballs, which then I ran out, and so I just decided to kill it for XP. Oh well, it happens. Alright, now I'm here at Cianwood City, and I go talk to the medicine guy, and yeah, get the secret medicine. The other reason I decided to go to him first is that he also sells the element stones. So after talking to him and going back into his shop, I got a Firestone for Quit W. My Growlithe. And then after that, I went to back to the Slowpoke well, like off screen, and I got my King's Rock. So now, I'm deciding to go ahead and, instead of waiting for a Slowbro, I figured go ahead and get a Slowking, so I have a fully evolved Psychic Pokemon for Chuck coming up. And which is cool. I've actually never used Slowking before, so this is exciting. Next is my last encounter for today, and my Cianwood City encounter is going to be a Krabby. I didn't want to Rock Smash for Shuckles or anything, and plus I like Krabby. I like stocking up on water types at this point. But I overestimated Krabby's special bulk, and I killed it with a Surf. Again, it happens. With all the side stuff taken care of, it's now to start leveling up and grinding, getting ready for Chuck. I encounter Suicune on Wood City, and that triggers my fight with Yucine, who has, I would say, a pretty good upgrade in Crystal Legacy. In the OG Crystal, I know like his ace was like an Electrode with Thunder, and in this game he has a Politoed, which has moves like Hypnosis and Ice Beam, a real step up in my opinion. And Lantern is able to take care of him with no problem. After this, his next Pokemon is a Hypno, which is pretty cool. I believe he had Drowsy in the original Crystal version, but Beacon he's perfectly healthy. I go for some Surfs, and this gets the knockout on the Hypno, and again, they're just not hitting their Hypnosis. Beacon is just, he's not tired today, and I respect the grind, buddy. And then his last Pokemon is a Flaffy. So, honestly, I kind of would have liked if the Electrode stayed. I just thought that Thunder Electrode was so threatening. But Flaffy is cool too. I like it. So, it is able to paralyze me and cause some paralysis shenanigans, but it's not enough. Beacon's able to just two-shot it with Surf, and that takes care of Yucine. After the fight, he simps over Suicune one more time before leaving. I then take care of all of Chuck's gym trainers to get some quick level ups before I have to grind and top everyone to level 31, which is the current level cap. And then we're going to go ahead and fight Chuck. So Chuck, this is his Gym 5 team. He has 4 Pokemon. If I were to save him to like Gym 6 or Gym 7, he would have a Pinsir in his party, but he doesn't at this point. So right here he has a Hitmontop, and Bansamir, my Gyarados, is just going to 2-hit KO him with Gust. The Hitmontop really can't do anything to me. But his Sudowoodo, which I think is a really cool include on this team, can do some pretty nasty damage, so I don't want to risk not killing it. So Abexel is a hard switch in, and he's able to take care of Sudowoodo with some Surfs. After this, Chuck brings out his Pokemon Primeape, and right here, I figured Abexel is looking pretty healthy, so I decide to stay and do some Mud Slaps. I do see that Karate Chop, if it crits, which the second one does, it would not kill, so I'm just able to get some Mud Slaps in just to get some accuracy drops. And then now I hard switch back into Gamboa. Hopefully, with some RNG luck, wouldn't have to take any hits, but it doesn't look like that's happening. Either way, Gamboa does defeat the Primeape with one solid Psybeam. And then the last Pokemon, Poliwrath, is here. Now, I believe I have the Sleep Berry on Gamboa, but I don't fully remember. But honestly, I didn't have to worry about too much because it's just 2 Psybeams and Poliwrath is down. So, yeah, this is Chuck. Honestly, I'm glad for another straightforward fight because I know it's going to get pretty difficult towards the late game. And after this, I talk to his wife, and she gives me a TM for Fly. This is why I also fought Chuck first anyway. So I hope people enjoy this episode and tune in for badge number 6.